hell is that? That's the chief.
This is a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing, nothing without a woman or a girl. You see, man made the cars to take us over the road. Man made the train to carry the heavy load. Man made the electric light to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water, like Noah made the ark. This is a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girls and a baby boys. Man make them happy, 'cause man make them toys. And after man make everything he can, you know that man makes money to buy from other men. This is a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing, not one little thing without a woman or a girl. He's lost in the wilderness. He's lost in bitterness. He's lost. Lord have mercy.
Hello and welcome back once again, my friends, pioneers, werewolves, divergence, and glitches. And shout out to all the fathers out there. Shout out to all the viewers out there. Because the Daily Candle Close News wouldn't be nothing without you. Sending you all much love on June 21st. That 21st, 22nd microstructure reset recycle that we speak about. It is also the summer solstice. That mid-summer point. Ooh. Coach, did you do it again? It is the start of Cancer. And we've been watching those carcinogenic lows come in the market yet again as we transition into today. What do we see heading into tomorrow? That June 22nd reset that we saw, say, last year when we broke down this Memorial Day, this Flag Day, this Independence Day rally, 4th of July bull flag thesis, that June and July carcinogenic moment coming from those lows. What can we see this year? last year, June 22nd, right here, heading into tomorrow, that 21st, 22nd microstructure reset recycle, giving us those market lows at that psychological 100K range, $99,000, and then we banged into Independence Day. That Independence Day rally coming out of this large bull flag set from that Memorial Day sale, right? That May Day ham, mayhem in May, those M patterns in May through Mother's Day. And here we are at those Father's Day sacrifices. Yet again, the sacrifice of the father. One day, there will be a Parent Magazine single father edition, and it may be the Master Chief and his son Bentley. Only time will tell. But we got a lot to talk about today, because we are heading into summer. And we've been talking about, well, the code, astrology, and everything. That Cancer zodiac, bringing those market carcinogenic lows. So again, let's pay attention to right here on Father's Day and the sacrifices that we always see, the lows of the market as we enter that Cancer, the sacrifice of the father. I can't say it enough. This is a man's world, but we know it ain't nothing without a woman or a girl. But it was built by men and the sacrifices of men. Remember that. Show me the all-woman architectural crew, you know? And I'm not being misogynistic. I'm not being sexist. We're just being factual with what today is. So sacrifice. Giving us that same 73 that we're seeing as we approach summer, as we look in the charts right here and we see more of these sacrificial lows coming into June 21st, June 22nd, as we approach this time period. What could we see? More sacrifice? At the beginning of summer, those mid-summer, June and July carcinogenic lows of the June bug that we've been teaching about for years? Or are we done? Have we beat that Cancer? Okay, so let's look back at this midsummer, right? Giving us that 43 and that 56K that we've been paying attention to, as well as that high of finally getting past that sale wall of 128K. And we've been talking about Bitcoin having a sell wall at 128K for over a year now, which is why we were able to map out the 126K highs tied to Bitcoin and its price discovery last year, August, prior to the October highs of 126K. So that Bitcoin price discovery giving us that same 126, right? But we were watching now after a 43-day government shutdown and fucking chaos, extreme fear since October of potentially reaching things like the weekly EMA at 56K, COVID being a 6-year anniversary from COVID, a 6-letter word, right? Giving us that 60, oh, I gotta put the C in there, you guys, I'm sorry about that. But COVID giving us that 26, paying attention to the 2026 year, a 6-year anniversary from this, but a 6-letter word, right? All right. Tied to your corona, another 7-letter word, I'm sorry. Another 6-letter word giving you 66 in ordinal, right? English ordinal. Coronavirus, right? Six years ago. Here we are in the 26 year, paying attention to that, the 666 code we've been on, right? And seeing if we don't come back to another catastrophic market low 6 years later, tied to this 3 6s code. that we've seen all year long. Because again, since October, we've been hitting 60K lows, not once, but twice, possibly a third time, the 3/6 code in the future, right? Shout out Moto Metal. And or potentially that 43 after a 43-day government shutdown, or seeing the weekly 322 exponential moving average. Refresh the page. Weekly. If we were to see that, I don't know why it's not showing up, but it's right here at 56K, and we've been mapping that out in the classes. Okay. I'll have a chart in a moment. It'll probably show it. I gotta renew my subscription. You guys know that, but I'm waiting for a sale. 4th of July, maybe. America's $250. But that midsummer low that we tend to see, that data has shown that we've mapped out for years here. Okay, we call it the June and July lows, the June bug, the July carcinogenic moment. It's got a lot of nomenclatures. Okay, we do this on purpose to make you pay attention to that summer solstice and this point as the temperatures start to rise, giving us that same 73 tied to those lows of summer, midsummer, tied to, I did say last year I was going to call this the midsummer lows this year. More it's really why the June bug thesis predicts a midsummer crypto correction. Okay, so now as we start to get to summer and the temperatures in this realm start to rise, do we also start to see the currency, the markets rise? Because again, the temperatures rise give us that same 103, that 60, those 60K lows we've been at, that 103, which we know is the 27th prime number, but it's tied to our pal Mercury. And I know everybody's going to be screaming Mercury retrograde coming up, and we get it on the 29th, but really the astrological importance starts now, at that start of summer, at that start of Cancer, right? The true lows are coming, the true propulsion out of the lows is coming now. It's starting now, not on the 29th when Mercury stations retrograde. Actually, we're going to be breaking down a lot more astrological importance in just a moment, centered around the 28th and the 30th, sandwiching Mercury retrograde this month as we head into July 4th, Independence Day, America's 250th Freedom Day, right? And so do we start to see the markets do that 360 right here, that 117 tied to Bitcoin price discovery right here, to the highs and the lows right here, right? And do we see the Mercury, the currency, the god of financial gain, start to take volatile hold of the markets right here? Out of this extreme fear we know we've been in since October, okay? As we enter Cancer in the 26th year, right? That Cancer zodiac giving us that same 69. Do we impulse back past that 66,000, that 66,600, that 69K during Cancer, right? Okay? Out of this extreme fear, you know, that carcinogenic moment. Through Father's Day, right? Okay? Because you know fathers are all about that eroticism, right? That's where it comes from. The phallus, right? That euphoria energy, right? Of the climax, I should say. But I'll behave. I play too much. So, anyways, you know, it's always about paying attention to the code right here and everything that, you know, I've spent 13 years of my life building. And now almost six years now, almost 7 going on years teaching. And Father's Day and the Summer Solstice arriving together as we cross another one of our famous 21st, 22nd microstructure reset recycles. And again, whether you study the sentiment of the extreme fear that we are in, or, you know, the cycles of the seasons, right? And astrology, like we teach here, the fundamental basics of trading, numerology, right? Whatever you follow, it's all converging into this same window of time right here as we approach, I argue, really tomorrow, the 22nd into the 23rd. And this summer solstice this year marks the longest day of the year. We know that, but a symbolic peak of the midpoint and the light before the gradual return of darkness as we approach the darkest days of the year. Samhain, Bitcoin's birthday in October, Halloween, and the darkest of days in Saturnalia in December, right? And, you know, historically, markets often move through this similar psychological ritual that we've been mapping out in, you know, a cycle, right? A circle. that midpoint of the infinity line, you know, June. As we cap off June and the 6th month of the year, the halfway point, they teach us, you know, we're right here, you know, where we start, and then we are midpoint to completing a full circle. And this year, the energy is arriving right here as we transition into Cancer, primed to potentially give us a $74,000 Bitcoin as we approach July 4th. Wouldn't that be numerically golden and beautiful to see a 74K come 7-4, knowing that Independence Day gives us that 74 in numerology as well. INDEPENDENCE. I'll behave. Independence Day giving us that same 74, that 128 coming out of these midsummer lows. Are we primed to go back towards that 74K as we head into Independence Day, the 250th celebration of Freedom Day, right? So as the sun transitions into Cancer, the sign associated with home and protection and security and family and emotional decision making right here, right? Like, we're paying attention to the thesis we've been building, and it's fittingly alignment with today, my day, and how it falls directly on Father's Day today. Midsummer, Cancer, Father's Day in the 2026 year. That father archetype of Bitcoin, right? Representing protection, provision, guidance, and leadership through uncertainty, huh? Markets themselves often reflect these same themes, and I've been teaching y'all for that for years. Fuck a GG33. Dude came around in 2023 out of nowhere. Shield paid, fucking false stain bargain, blood contract, sold his soul. Fuck out of here. We've been doing this shit for free. For 6 fucking years teaching y'all this. And he ain't got nothing on me. See, this is where times when market investors, where the Master Chief, the sophisticated investor, searches for safety, stability, and direction when volatility increases. And, well, we've already mapped out when the volatility increases. We've been teaching it for years. As we move into the Cancer season. Into Leo and the Lionsgate portal this year. Possibly back into 80, 88K as we see 88 this year. As Trump turns 80 years old just a few days ago. Huh. Now the question becomes, are investors preparing for shelter or preparing for expansion? Because you can go anywhere on Twitter right now and there's 40 plus, 1,000 plus accounts No matter where you look, calling for 40K, calling for 50K. Again, just like back in October. It's fittingly surprising that now that I'm recording a video, okay, there's one calling for 28K, and we've talked about potentially, I would say I'd argue 24K tied to, the midsummer, that we are at right here. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'll behave. Anyways, you can go all over Twitter right now, and it's so surprising. I've got some saved. I knew that would happen. It's okay. Watch this. Alright, let's check out, say, you got this one. Calling for low. You know what I'm saying? We've been out here mapping the lows since October. At 123K, we gave you the 10-9, 10-10 World Migration Day dates at a Skull and Bones birthday, where we saw the world's largest liquidation of 23K in one day. We gave you the biggest short, but people out here still talking about the big short. You know what I'm saying? And out here calling it and continuing to, everywhere you look, just continuing to call for lower prices right here at these potential lows all over Twitter right now. A gazillion places. Okay? So, we're not falling for the nonsense right here. We're prepared for expansion and have been. We've been dollar cost averaging into the dip. Ain't been tripping. Calling the 60K low since Donald Trump's 60th anniversary after winning, since his 11-2 60-minute interview, and after winning the 60th presidential election, we've been calling for these 60K carcinogenic lows. And now, earlier this month, we saw it again on 6/6. June 6th, D-Day, Death Day. Heading into World Junebug Day on the 7th. Fear exploded all over social media again, all over the fear and greed index. Right back to 59, 60K, bang, double banger, been bouncing since. And now it's the Monday Open. First it was gonna be, okay. First it was gonna be June 8th and 9th, and the Monday Open then. And now it's became 2 weeks after that. And now it's the 22nd. The June 22nd Monday Open is going to be the Black Monday. And we've seen the goalposts kicked all fucking month long. After getting those Junebug lows. Seeing headlines turn bearish. Sentiment collapsing. And once again the crowd becoming convinced that lower prices were inevitable. As if they knew it the whole time. As if I'm not the only one that's been mapping this out for 6 years flawlessly. And I'm surprised I'm still breathing doing it. They ain't knocked me off yet. What the market maker gonna do with me? The bigger question now is, though, how have we already defeated the carcinogenic moment of this cycle? Or is there more disease left to purge from the system before July begins? As we enter July and Independence Day, America's sacrifice. Because it was a sacrifice to leave and to come here. Alright? Remember that. And so everywhere I look across X and analysts, man, these crypto analysts are my sons. It's Father's Day, man. You can follow the Master Chief for free. You ain't even have to pay. Fuck out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? And they all calling for 40,000, 50,000, 20,000 Bitcoin. Like we ain't already mapped this potential time period out and some of these potential lows. And they want to come out here and try and steal all the flowers, man. I swear to God, man. These fucking swagger jaggers. And I personally counted dozens of accounts doing this. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to come out here as if they already had it mapped out. I've been teaching y'all the whole way. You know? So what if the market maker pivots against the masses right here? You know what I'm saying? After all, markets have a long history of inflicting the greatest pain on the greatest number of participants. And it just seems like lower prices right now has become fucking polarizingly, tribalistically popular since October. And they've all been wrong. So if everyone's still expecting a collapse, does the path of maximum frustration become with that unexpected rally, which is really just the Independence Day rally that we've been teaching, out of the carcinogenic cancer lows of the June bug, the midsummer point? Huh. Huh. Did you do it again, coach? It kind of really makes you wonder. So, I mean, this is where I talk about they're going to be chasing green candles, man. So whether we see more carcinogenic lows, or we're done with that, and we get that Independence Day rally exactly like last year, coming out of this, right now we're in a Memorial Day sale, and a 68% chance mathematically to break out to the upside, looking at 106 to 117K mathematically. Period. Technically. Okay? And guess what? This is an even larger multi-year from 15 to 126K bull flag, measuring multiple six figures. Okay? That could take up to 2030 to play out, with large, massive corrections in between. Alright, if we were to get very euphoric and then continue. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. But if we were to see that same Independence Day rally as last year, coming out of those May Day lows, those June and July, June bug carcinogenic lows, transferring to Cancer, 22nd, 21st microstructure reset, Independence Day rally, into the first ever 117K mapped out by the Master Chief himself, then we now only have 1 week remaining in the 6th month of the year, coming out of these 60K lows, that 666K, that 666 code, right? And all as we enter, today, did you do it again, coach? In the 26th week of the year. A fascinating midpoint energy. 52 weeks in a year. The astrology surrounding this point is packed with static intention too. And I know, like I said earlier, many are going to focus on that Mercury retrograde and the Mercury character that we've been bringing up, tied to finance. But I'd argue that, again, that energetic shift starts now, today, Father's Day. These crypto analysts, they my sons. It's Father's Day. Oh, the emotional current changes today, you guys. And the narrative changes, the psychology changes, the sentiment changes. On June 28th, we're going to have Mars entering Gemini, joining Uranus. Oh boy, what a battle that's going to be. Accelerating communication, speculation, information flow, and volatility. So it's not just Mercury retrograde on the 29th, you know. New cycles intensify right here. Opinions multiply. They coming. I can't wait to hear your favorite crypto analyst's opinion, while we get to see the momentum increase. And then June 30th, right after Mercury stations retrograde on the 29th, by the way, brings another major shift where Jupiter is going to enter Leo, the heart of the lion, right? That's going to be a year-long cycle associated with confidence, creativity, leadership, visibility, and self-expansion. Expression, right? That expansion of the markets, right? That Jupiter energy, that Thor, dude. As we enter summer, where the hot air comes, where we see these storms intensify, right? And now we're gonna then arrive on Independence Day, 7/4. So 13 days away from that, right now. 14, that Osiris code, that father code, Father Osiris, right? That phallus, eroticism energy, right? Euphoria, right? 14 days away from Independence Day right now. Freedom, independence, sovereignty, right? So at the same time, with Mars joining Uranus, with that powerful conjunction, right, in Gemini, under a Gemini-born president, okay now. An aspect known for surprises, breakthroughs, right? The Uranus figure, shocks, reversals, disruptions, right? Explosive energy. That 7-4 date, that energy code, right? It's the Independence Day rally code, right? Back to 74K on Independence Day. That energy we could see out of this powerful conjunction, right? We know Uranus stations back in retrograde in September. So we're either about to see the midpoint and at these 60K lows of support, heading into a high of September in Uranus stationing back in retrograde like history has shown, or we're going to see a dramatic low come September when Uranus stations in retrograde as we enter the autumn equinox and the 9 3/4 wake me up when September ends, part of our thesis from these midsummer points. So until mid-July, we could potentially see a rally, only to meet resistance or to continue expansion. So will the markets rise with the temperatures this year as they start to heat up in this realm, like we've been teaching for years? As the summer heats intensify, so could the energy of the charts and the volatility and the prices start to increase out of these, again, dramatic lows of 60K. While fear is still remaining elevated and these bears still seem to be vocal, I'm calling this the midsummer trap. Because history has repeatedly shown that some of the strongest rallies emerge precisely when this time comes, while there's conviction in lower prices. So this solstice needs to remind us that every peak contains the seed of discipline, that cherry blossom season seed that we've been planting. That thesis and market psychology blueprint that we've written and been teaching you for years. And right now in this darkness of this midpoint, let's continue to water the seed. I believe the next 2 weeks, heading into June 22nd, a month from now. I'm sorry, July 22nd. 722. 22 divided by 7, 3.14, that pi code. Right? Again, bringing us back full circle. I believe this thesis of June and July lows is going to hold true again. I don't believe it's become popular yet. Not when we see nothing but fear. And everybody and their mama calling for lower prices and their 3 scenarios, etc., etc. I believe this is opening a chapter for a much more grandiose move in the later half of this year. I'd pay attention more to that August 8th Lionsgate portal for any dramatic nonsense. 8-8, right? Let's go ahead and do it. 8-8 under a 80-year-old Donald Trump, right? That 888. like we've been mapping out for some of our pioneers. If we were to, not the right one. Had a few charts I want to talk about. Haven't really done that yet. Alright. New. Not changing that. Let's go to our main. Watching that XRP trade out of that. That banger falling wedge right there. 68% chance of a mathematical breakout to the upside of, 3, 4. Right now looking at $2.16. 666. 6Q. So let's go right here real quick. This is what we've been potentially mapping out for that 8-8 time period, right? Okay. So if we were to push up into July 4th, Independence Day, and be back at that 74K, this is the 786 of the Fibonacci channel at the 702 golden pocket right here, 618 right here. We're we're accumulating at this golden pocket, right? If we were to push up into Independence Day and then maybe see an 80K, 88K into 88 in the Lions Gate portal, and then potentially see that scripted ritual to Trump or something happening on the world stage as we enter eclipse season. Any fucking way. Man, it's that autumn equinox, man. Dude, and what it always shows. Okay, and we've been teaching that for years. Alright, that Lionsgate portal. It's that Nixon, or what we've been calling for 2 years now, that Nixon-Trump shock, right? Of August. Okay, so you might hear some other people call it some other nomenclature this year. We'll see what they say, but let's see what happens heading into that time period. Okay, with everything that we've been, again, decoding on the world stage, like the most recent one that we've shared in class with Debbie Chase, who voiced Lilo in Lilo and Stitch. And she died on the anniversary, the 24th anniversary of Lilo and Stitch coming out in the El Capitan Theater, right? In Los Angeles, and she died in Los Angeles, right? And so, again, that 24 code tied to this alien invasion that we've been seeing and speaking about and decoding as we head into Independence Day, America's 250th, right? Because we have a Brazilian influencer out here with 23 million followers out here sharing that on June 24th, Debbie Chase's birthday, we could see a potential alien invasion in Miami, right? And remember, she was born in Sin City, you guys, right? That 666 code we've been talking about this year as we head into Independence Day with that septic shock that we could see to the markets coming out of this meningitis carcinogenic lows that we've been getting, that 911 code, right? Because she died 39 days before her upcoming birthday, tied to Ohana, which means family. And family means no one's left behind, right? And so, tied to her character's name that she voiced in this, right? Died at 53, or died at 35, the mirror of 53, tied to the voice of the character she played. And she also played in the sequel of Donnie Darko, right? S. Darko, tied to that alien invasion, Experiment 626, tied to that 626 code, that 626's 666 code, that 26 year, that 666 code we've been seeing this year, tied to that, Experiment 626, that new world we are heading into, and the aliens that we've been seeing talked about in the, NBA Finals with Victor Wembanyama, right? The aliens just lost and went down in the NBA Finals. Are the aliens going to now come down? Is what they'll show us. But they'll probably come up from the waters, but I'll behave. Anyways, now, so again, just more of what we've been seeing. Tied to these latest 2 rituals, Oliver Tree, Debbie Chase, right? Alien Boy, right, is what he was known for. I think is what's being missed by all these quote-unquote decoders out there. You know what I'm saying? tied to this 6-year anniversary of the fallout of Kobe Bryant and, well, COVID, like we've been talking about. Okay? So again, more of that 102 code tied to the alien invasion, tied to, well, the June bug that we've been talking about, right? So just seeing all of this, again. So, what do we see? What do we see? What do we see now that we transition through Father's Day? Alright? Because again, we could start to see more of that euphoria and eroticism as we are 14 days away from Independence Day, rallying into that Independence Day rally of potentially 74K coming July 4th. While everybody else is going to then say they mapped out the way. But did they? Did they? Like the Coach Abe has? I mean, who remembers this chart from last year? Haven't even brought it up in a year, but been mapping this shit out since 2020. You know, since 3K to 69K, 69K to 15K, 15K all the way to 126K, and bam, and every high and low in between. Y'all know that. Buy the rumor, sell the news event of the Bitcoin ETF, the March blood moon eclipse. We wrote blogs about it tied to 74K as we transitioned into Pi Day tied to Lucifer, right? Anyway. Then the 47K is we transitioned into electing number 47, and the rally into the first ever 107K Master Chief Code, right? Double top, M patterns, right? Yeah. Alright. New year, new cycle rally. That's what this was. Anyways. So, alright. I mean, retest range. We've been accumulating it. And we may, like I said, see 43. After a 43-day government shutdown, this has been here for a year. It's not just me coming up with this, you know. But that's 14th prime number. We're 14 days away from Independence Day. That's why I bring that up. But have they mapped it out? Like, you know, did they call the 128K sell wall last year? You know, we argue that 20 years of hard work, third generation finance, has got us where we are today. You know, and it's not what they teach you and preach and show you on these crypto influencer sites. I promise you that. But what a beauty. What a beauty. When you stop to really look at the artwork, you gotta be proud of it. You know, that crypto's Andy Warhol, right? That third eye activation. You know. So I'm just blessed to be here as I'm about to work a double on Father's Day. Because we, you know, live in a society that doesn't appreciate the father like the single father, like the mother, right? So I guess, you know, today's video is to my son, to myself, to all the single fathers out there working a double shift on Father's Day. Because the world may never know or truly understand, again, our sacrifice. Because I know today's social media will be flooded with brunches and flowers and gifts and celebrations. And yeah, rightfully so. You know, I envy those fathers that got the full family. You know, my son's mother passed away. You know, it's just me and a boy and the cats and dogs, man. And so I envy the ones that get a chance to take today off. But I know, like me, there's a father out there punching a clock instead of opening the gift, getting a chance to, well, sit, relax, breathe. A father that's going to punch the clock into a double shift like I am today. I know there's some of those out there. So this one's for you, you know. Fathers whose hands are calloused from work and he can't remember what soft skin felt like anymore, and whose feet ache from standing all day and carrying the weight far heavier than anything he's ever seen his employers lift. You know what I'm saying? And the weight of being everything. The provider, the protector, the teacher, the comforter, the, you know, disciplinarian and cheerleader and cook and chauffeur and counselor and hero too, and somehow the villain when life doesn't go according to plan. I know there's fathers out there spending Father's Day alone because the children they're sacrificing for are sleeping while they're working. Like mine will most likely be today, like it is right now. Fathers eating lunch in a break room, looking at photos on their phone because that's the closest thing they get to a Father's Day celebration. Because again, we lived in a sociopathic fucking society. You're called misogynistic, sexist for comparing the single father to the single mother. Or you're blamed and told it's your fault. You chose this. Do harder, do better. You got this. Keep pushing. And I know there will be some fathers out there who don't even eat lunch today. Probably can't even afford to. Fathers who have bought themselves new shoes in years. This one's for all the fathers carrying grief that nobody sees, man. Stress nobody hears. Fear nobody talks about. The crying in silence, the worry in silence, the struggle in silence. Because somehow along the way, society taught men that their pain should be hidden behind a smile. I'm okay. But most don't know that I'm okay is really hidden between a BREN. Because that's the father in most societies today. Strength means silence. Tears are weakness. That's what they tell the man today. Nobody wants to hear about the battles fought by the man, carrying the family on his back. But fathers, I see you. I see the father who stays up, awake after everyone goes to sleep, calculating bills. I see the father working 60, 70, 80 hours a week at just one job. 133 hours out of a 168-hour week between the two. The one's trying to build a life he may never get to enjoy himself or get flowers for. I see those fathers. The ones who go without so their child can have. The one who is exhausted. They call him muffler because he's always exhausted. The father who is scared. The father who doesn't know how to hang on because he doesn't know if he's going to make it another week. I see those ones. Yeah, you pioneers. You legends in my book. Because yet somehow you wake up and you do it anyway. Every single day. No applause, no standing ovation, no viral appreciation, no special treatment. Just responsibility, duty, and love. Sacrifice. Because real fatherhood isn't measured by how much money a man makes, how much money they have in their banks. It's measured by what he's willing to sacrifice. And the greatest fathers sacrifice pieces of themselves every day so their children never have to pay. The world sees the paycheck. The child sees the superhero. But nobody sees the man bleeding internally, just trying to hold everything together. The one playing flawlessly perfect while uninjured. The man who carries his family through storms while becoming one himself. So today, if you're a single father working a double shift, if your hands are calloused, if your boots are worn out, if your back hurts, if your heart is tired, if you're wondering whether anyone notices, know this. Your son, your daughters notice. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day they'll realize every day you paid. They'll see every meal you missed, every overtime shift, every sleepless night, every blister. Every sacrifice was a love letter, written in a language only a father could speak. This is a man's world, they said. So when that day comes, they'll understand what the world often forgets, what society has been indoctrinated to not pay attention to. Some men don't wear capes. Some of us just wear steel-toe boots and hard hats. So happy Father's Day to the fathers who never stop showing up. Especially when no one else is watching. So if it's your day today, be you. Appreciate yourself for all you do. Because we know there's some slime ball daddies out there, man. Some fathers that ain't present. That are always gone. And that never come home. I love you, pioneers. And my son sends you his thank yous for wishing him well and recovering from Friday's medical care, emergency care, and things that we needed to handle this year. And we appreciate you, those of you that have reached out, sent your regards, your best wishes. He wanted to say thank you. I don't know where I'd be without my boy. My cats, my dogs, my pioneers, my family too. Y'all know I do all I do for you. I wouldn't have made history without you, pioneers. And it's amazing to be sitting here at another June 21st, 22nd microstructure reset recycle. Getting ready to see if we shock the world again with our technical analyst expertise and decoding pattern recognition skills and the algorithm that we built. And I can't help but scream, we shooting for the stars, pioneers. While the rest of the world was doubting or laughing or claiming they knew it, we knew that right now, today, this moment, our day of our thesis The whole code we've been sharing all year mattered at this moment now. That summer solstice, that June and July carcinogenic moment, while the rest of the world stills our flowers moving forward. We know the truth. We've got the documents and the receipts and the trademarks and the copyrights for years. They don't want to see us hit the cease and desist. That's my alarm, pioneers. I gotta get ready to go to work again today and work a double on Father's Day. Sociopathic fucking society. Uncompassionate, unconsiderate. I'm just saying, when I was a manager in any business I've ever ran, there were 2 days where I acknowledged the mother and the father first. I asked them, you want to work? Boom, you in the restaurant, guess what? You get the best sections. All the mothers get the best sections. I don't fuck what anybody say on Mother's Day. Father, same thing on Father's Day. Boom. You don't want to work? Boom, off. Be with the kids. It common fucking sense. But I'll behave. I play too much. So I'm gonna leave this one here as we get ready to cap off another beautiful episode. We just need to remember again why the Junebug thesis predicts a midsummer crypto correction. While everybody else claims to think they know, we've taught it for years and what it means. That metaphorical warning, right? Just like the Junebug spiraling blindly into a hot porch light, right? Retail investors are flying straight into the midsummer trap right now. And so we've decoded this erratic energy of the market by laying out the technical analysis, the astrology, the gematria, numerology, and Fibonacci retracements, etc. for you all tonight. To reveal I believe a hidden truth that will strike gold again. So don't be the one caught in the upcoming correction or reversal coming to the market out of this time period. Learn. Be the person that understands why this seasonal frequency is inevitable. Because the crypto's market volatility is not just truly random. It's a calculated frequency hidden in plain sight. And we've been teaching it. By merging the mathematics and the technical analysis, the numerology and the gematria, the astrology and the self-destructive pattern of human emotions. To build this Junebug seasonal flight this year. So as we enter this midsummer peak, this is a sharp warning to pay attention and invest your attention to those of us that truly know what we speak. So with that being said, happy Father's Day, pioneers. Take care and have a blessed evening. Pioneers, rise. Build your fortress. Build your legacy. Let's go. Y'all know how we're going to end this, man. We're going to end this right tonight.
Did my time, took my chances. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times it happens too fast. You trade your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive. It's deep, eye of the tiger.
Yo, check it, man. It's Coach A. Here to share the diagnosis. Shout out to them 90s babies, man. Born in the 90s when they were testing theories on babies, and I was one of the victims of the misdiagnosis and the labels they were putting on children. I was force-fed 7 prescriptions on the daily, had my siblings looking at me like I was crazy. I don't know, maybe I was insane, or maybe these doctors just didn't want me clearly thinking. Man, I'm always in a fog off of these meds, Mom. And I don't blame my parents, but the classroom's always staring. How can I tell the world my vision when I'm seeing into the distance? All the teachers saw was a problem, but I was seeing the problems different. My mind was moving faster than the lessons they were teaching. They said I wasn't focused, but I was studying the sequence. Patterns in the chaos, the numbers in their speeches, looking into the future while they were living in the weekend. I couldn't sit still, I couldn't fit in. Everybody jogging while my thoughts were sprinting. Fidgeting fingers, but my brain was completely on mission. I was locked in a prison before I ever even saw a prison. 12 years down, and if I could go back, I wouldn't do it any different. I was the product of an era where they medicated questions, handed out a diagnosis, but really gave direction. My gift looked like a curse from a certain perspective. Now I see the genius they were hiding under misconceptions. I was reading people, reading motives, reading cycles, trying to understand why the powerful always try to rewrite you, why they give every generation a different title, and why the same old stories always seem to recycle. They said, sit down. I was seeing too much. They said, slow down. I was dreaming too much. Now the same mind they misunderstood and doubted built a whole kingdom from nothing around it. From a jail cell to the top of the charts with my analysis. Turned my pain into purpose through the patterns and challenges. Concrete walls and a steel door closing. It's funny how the isolation made my vision start focusing. Most people break when the world starts folding. I started studying human emotion. Everybody was watching the clock, I was watching the cycles. Everybody was chasing trends and I was studying my rivals. Empires rise and fall by the same old title. Fear and greed driving every financial spiral. Look at the charts, like they're pages in a Bible. Candlesticks speaking in a language that's tribal. Market psychology, crowd behavior recital. Human nature never changes despite the arrival of old or new technology, algorithms and policy. Same old human volatility, honestly. Different century, just same human hypocrisy. I wasn't trapped, I was transforming. Every setback became a warning. Every dark night became a morning. Every storm I survived became a story. Climb, coach, climb. They said slow down, I was seeing too much. They said sit down, I was dreaming too much. Now the same mind they doubted built a whole kingdom from nothing around it. From a jail cell to the top of the charts with my analysis. Turned my pain into purpose through the patterns and challenges. They called me crazy until the predictions came and they happened. Then they asked, how did I see it before the reaction? Years of exception, studying and adaptation, trying to decode the collective imagination. I'm not in the matrix. See, ADHD, it wasn't my weakness. It was the bandwidth. 1,000 thoughts moving, processing, looking for the pattern. Sometimes it's exhausting. Sometimes it's a blessing. Living in a mind that's constantly connecting. Every number got a shadow, every headline got a motive. Every market move carries emotional components. Some people see noise, some people see motion, some people see waves. I see the ocean. From the bottom of a barrel to the house with a view. From a prison record to a purpose renewed. From everybody saying what I can never do to standing here becoming the living fucking proof. The diagnosis never defined me. The obstacles never confined me. I learned what the prison wasn't made of, and that's steel. The prison was believing what they told me was real. Now I write my own story, teach my own pioneers. Built from every scar, a misunderstood kid who learned how to read the stars. Shout out Pioneers, man. Just the autobiography of a, misunderstood kid diagnosed with ADHD because he was really just a genius. From prison to finding purpose.